can see your face, man.
Out here. I just well, I didn't comb it today, but
All right, here we go. How we doing today?
yeah, we're good. We're good. How are you?
Doing fantastic. We have a very, I wouldn't say controversial subject today, but it says, before you enter a relationship, understand this. And what would this be? This would be the actual understanding of the hierarchy, or the understanding of what men and women, where their roles should be. Basically, it comes down to what you can find in biblically terms, and it says that in 1 Corinthians 3, 1 Corinthians 11:3, the head of every woman is man, the head of every man is Christ, and the head of Christ is God. So that's a hierarchy. And basically what it means is God protects Christ, Christ protects man, and man protects woman. And that's pretty much what the understanding is. So going into relationships, that's what men need to understand when they entering into the arena of creating relationships and understanding the role in which he's supposed to position themselves in. And so, we have we're going to open up that for a discussion. And so I will go to you, Mr. Amir, and ask you, what do you think about that?
Well, yeah, it's about right. It's about right. I think that today's it's a little touchy because of the language, but it's about it's accurate. It's been that way for a long time, and it's been operating that way efficiently. So if it's not broke, we shouldn't be trying to fix it. But things have changed a lot over the past 25 years or so.
Okay, well, we understand the roles, the gender role has changed in terms of what is expected in society today, at least American society. But it's pretty much the same in terms of the protection. A woman is to be protected by a man, and of course, the man understanding he's got a higher entity that's, Christian for Christians to be Christ, and so others would be just simply a God. So that should be the understanding. And going into relationship, then that would be something that would be definite. You get some clarity on. So that's basically what that particular situation. That particular understanding is. And so we're going to bring Miss Nicole into the platform.
Hey guys.
Nico, what's good? What's good?
Nico, girl, you come from the stage left, huh? You ready?
Enter stage left.
Yeah, enter stage left. Yeah. So this is I'm Ted. We got Amir, and
I'm Nicole.
Yeah. So we got she's from the Them Part platform. You can go over there and see some streaming over there right now as we speak. So her platform is Them Parts, and I got a good platform going over there. So Amir and I were just discussing in the scripture where the head of every woman is man, the head of man is Christ, and the head of Christ is God. And I just ran it backwards, where God protects man, God protects Christ, Christ protects man, and man protects woman. And that's basically what it is. So it's just, when you run it backwards, that's what it means. And so a lot of times that should be the first understanding. We're entering into a relationship, we're going out there in the arena of starting to talk to women. She should understand that first and foremost, she should understand that you're there to protect her, and you're there to definitely make her comfortable. So we got beautiful women all over the place, all over the world, and so what's your perspective on that, Nicole?
I mean, I definitely agree. We need the protection.
Okay, right. Yeah, definitely. That's what from the when we talk about the clear understanding, we don't want to make it sound as if he's a ruler in those terms. It's a responsibility. In other words, it's not a dictatorship. It's a responsibility. And when you put it in that perspective, it's clear, as to what that means. So that's what I just wanted to put emphasis on. So how was your weekend?
It's a lot more palatable when you say it the second way, for sure.
Absolutely, no doubt. Absolutely, no doubt. It's definitely more palatable. We don't want to war of the sexes here, right? We just want to get some understanding, some knowledge in terms of how we go out there and approach these things. Oftentimes I hear Nicole say it's not that hard, and it's not really that difficult. Although it's a challenge, I suppose, right?
It is a challenge. People are challenged with it nowadays.
Yeah, people are challenged with it nowadays.
Right. I say it's not that hard, but I guess it is, or it could be that hard too. But when I say it's not that hard, I'm just meaning that we're talking about human beings and we're talking about human nature.
Right.
Understand, human nature, that doesn't change. People hide it.
Right.
So you just gotta recognize that. That's all.
That's true. Yeah, we got a lot of women in the workforce these days, and so it's not quite the same as it used to be, as we talked about several times on this platform. But it's going to definitely get better, I believe, because the way things are set up, in society, every society in history, over the course of maybe 500 years of rulership that society had, was subjected to demise in a sense. And I'm not trying to say that's going to happen over here where we're at, but you never know. Things change all the time.
No, it's probably more than likely going to happen. It probably was more than likely going to happen because the world was, not the world, but lots of things were becoming too feministic. You can't have a complete feministic society.
Right. Well,
I'm sorry. I'm a little bit. I'm not following you guys.
Okay.
I don't know. I jumped in. I thought this was the topic.
Well, this is definitely the topic.
No, you saying the world over the last 100 years, some odd years has 500 years has been.
Okay, there's rulership.
I'm not saying over the last 500 years. I'm saying feminism over the last 10.
30.
I was talking about in terms of a society. In other words, a superpower. Like the United States has been a superpower over the course of so many years, so many hundreds of years before that country, like the Roman rulership, died off in terms of it being a superpower, and that's happens in the world with several different countries. I just put that out there just to say that the goal is not so much rulership; it's the protection. If there was protection, and for example, we got rewarded and got paid for the people that we protect, then things would be different. In other words, if we got paid for protection, or let's say we got paid for being kind to people, and that was our job, and we got paid for doing that. Matter of fact, we got paid that same day for being kind to other people. We would have no problem in the world, We would have this situation, and we definitely would have a situation where relationships are so difficult, So, that's why I say when we run it backwards, with protection instead of saying headship, and that's, we're used to your point, Amir, you said it sounds better because it does sound better. and it is better when we look at it like that. So that's the easy part. The easy part is knowing what we need to do. The hard part is, I guess, being able to do it. Or being able to do what should be done.
Yeah, the hard part is, that's why I did say that. I agree with what it's saying, but it's everybody's real sensitive these days, and it could be easily off-putting for a woman to hear that. So you got to walk on eggshells.
But you don't have to say it. No, I mean you got to.
Right, you're right. Right. And then with a biblical term, they weren't mincing words back then, so it's so yeah.
Beat her over the head with the Bible, then. Say
it again.
Beat her over the head with the Bible, then.
Oh well. I don't do that.
You got nobody understands metaphors anymore either. But
no, I know what you meant. I know what you meant, but I'm just not I'm not a big Bible guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. When you say, you're not a big Bible person, I was surprised because yesterday I got a phone call. A quick story. I got a phone call from my brother, which he never, he normally texts me, never calls me, but he called me, and let me see how it happened. I looked on the text. I was looking on my text, and he was texting me. And he was texting me saying that our cousin from Ohio wanted me to call. And so I called him, and we had this big discussion about the Bible. And I've never had a Bible study type discussion with my brother before. But we had that yesterday with a cousin from Ohio, which is, he's a Jones. His name is Bill Jones.
You got he got his name.
Pardon me?
So you remember his name?
I do remember his name.
That was an insider. We was talking about it a couple of days ago.
Okay.
He was having one of them senior moments.
Oh no, I wasn't having one with him, but we just talked yesterday. But his sister.
Okay, it's happening again.
His sister is on Facebook all the time. So I don't know if you know who she is.
Yeah, I think I do. Is that I don't want to. I can't remember that we're on the. Her name is Renee. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So that's the connection. That's right. Yeah. Just conversation.
So how did this Bible study go?
Oh, it went quite well. It was it's pretty much talked about. He was talking about the family being Israelites. That he discovered that he was an Israelite. And he did his DNA, and the DNA came back, with a tribe in Africa where his mother was born, and so he talked about that. So making sure that he understood that I understood that I'm of the same, since we're relatives, and we talked about that. But him and I talked about that many years ago, and I was just surprised that my brother. Who I never thought he even picked up a Bible. He was engaging in it, and he knew some scriptures. We're gonna have another one on Saturday. This coming Saturday. We're trying to have it this coming Saturday because the Super Bowl is Sunday. So yeah, we had a nice little discussion. It was great. I was just thinking about hey, I've never had a discussion like that with my brother in terms of the Bible. So we had a nice conversation actually. So and that's another thing. I think that this is just my opinion, of course. I believe that everyone should kind of study a book of a piece, even if it's not the Bible, another book that's engages in understanding.
A book of peace.
A book of peace, right? You can call certain things in the Bible. Of course, is talking about some things that are in there, but the end of the Bible is all about peaceful existence here, here on earth. That's what it says. Yeah. So this is that's basically what it says. As I think that's part of another process that men should endeavor to do. Learn all that they can about like I said, an existence of tranquility and harmony. That's what I believe. And and that will spill over into the relationship that they try to cultivate.
Yeah, I really don't think that. I don't think that the Bible is a good model. Especially, I don't think it correlates with especially today's world. But most people. We're not supposed to be talking about the Bible, but I will.
You can talk about anything you want to talk about. I mean, it's not. I mean, and you have most definitely can express your feelings. That's what this is all about. Gaining understanding from different perspectives. I didn't hear you.
I said I'm open to talking about it. The Bible, right, whatever, relationships, whatever.
Yeah, right,
let's talk about. Absolutely. Well, let's talk about the state of affairs of the relations between modern men and women, because I think that we're living in a post-feminist world, obviously, and I really do feel. You don't think so?
It's not post yet, but it's still kind of feminist. It's still very feminist right now.
Yeah. Like, I get what you're saying, because it's not after feminism, it's during feminism. Right. That's what you mean? Yeah. Exactly. Well, the post breakthrough of feminism is what I actually meant.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's really messing up the dynamics of relationships, because the standard versus the biological instincts and what people truly desire beyond their subconsciously is contradicting one another. So women want to be equal and men want to be supportive of that, but we really don't want that,
I don't think women really want to be equal either. I think there's a handful of feminist women who pushed an agenda, who had the power to get an agenda pushed through, and
right.
Persuaded other women
mm-hmm.
to, go along with it, believe that it was better to be in the workplace and the home, take care of your families. And now we don't even have enough time for our families.
Right.
We are only in the workplace.
Yeah. And another part that's going to be a little bit, I won't say controversial, but it might hurt some people's feelings, is like, with the women being half of the workforce, damn near, it's saturating it, watering down the workforce, and that's giving the employers the ability to underpay everybody.
We'll never get paid enough in the workforce anyway.
Yeah, but we used to live in a world where we can survive off of, and even be homeowners off of a one income household. One income.
Right.
And that's impossible now. And the way they were able to do that was by getting the women into the workforce, watering it down, making couples codependent on one another to pay bills. So now the man, your average typical man, is not equipped to hold down the household by himself. So the woman, rightfully so, she's going to say, well, I would be in my feminine, but you can't take care of me like that. So if I got to be out there, if I got to be out there just like you, I'm not gonna be able to anticipate when you're coming home. It's like everything has been disrupted.
That's true. Everything has been disrupted. That's a bigger problem. The biggest problem, I think. The whole family dynamic has been disrupted. That's right.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of times we like to point the finger at the other gender, but it's really a systemic thing that happened.
Yeah.
It was a masterfully crafted thing to oppress and to disrupt and to ultimately break up the nuclear family as it's in its natural state and disrupt it. And then you got many layers that come to it, as far as the welfare. I mean, not the welfare. I'm sorry, the child support and the incentive for a woman to leave the man. And her putting that pressure, she basically has a lot of leverage, which gives her a lot of power, and a lot of power she was not naturally supposed to have. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason why women aren't supposed to have that power. because they're not equipped to deal with that power in a fair manner. Is that a little triggering? I mean,
not triggering. I mean, I just don't know if it's true. I mean, because I could turn it both ways. The men didn't have to leave the household. They could have took care of their families, and nobody would have to go to the welfare office. Nobody is trading that for a guy who's working and bringing home the bacon and taking care of the house. The bills are paid and all of that stuff. So I'm saying it can go both ways. It's not you know, it's a problem, and both people were at fault, right? And nobody knew it. I think
it's closer to neither of them at fault than both of them are at fault.
No, because there's still Black people got to take accountability for where we are, and you know, I don't care if white people are dangling carrots in our faces. We don't always have to accept it at the risk of our freedom, at the risk of our families, at the risk of this and that. So it's everybody's fault. If you want to, we're talking about the welfare system specifically. You know, the system made it hard for Black families to make money, and then they gave welfare to the women, and then demanded the men out of the house. So if you're already arguing and fighting over money at home, and then the government is giving you money and they put a stipulation, that's only going to be more arguments and fights. That's why I never believed in the child support.
Yeah, but I would push back a little bit and say that it gave the woman less. It gave the man a shorter leash, but she's like, keep fucking around. I don't need this, you know.
Well, yeah, it gave him a shorter, of course.
Yeah, which is a
lean back on.
Right.
No matter what you have, if you have something else to lean back on, yeah, then you don't.
You're not going to appreciate the man as much if you don't need him as much, because the way God set it up was the man was necessary for her survival, you know. So now that's not the case in our society, in our matrix society.
Make yourself unnecessary, you know, and even though the women accepted certain welfares
but listen, everybody can't be him. You know what I mean? We gotta think about it from the median man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because everybody's not. People are gonna be. There's gonna be exceptions. There's gonna be extraordinary people, but we're talking about humanity. You're talking about the society as a whole. So we can't shame the average man for being average. Somebody's got to be average. Most people have to be average. Right. And those are going to be the ones that those are going to be the majority of the people. And it's not fair to say, well, you should have did better. You look at him. You know what I mean? Like, everybody can't be him.
Well, but I mean, you have to say you should have did better, or else you'll never know if you should have did better or not. Somebody has to point out the where we failed at, so we can do better. It has to be pointed out. That's all.
I hear you, but I think it's a little bit. It's not as
just so it won't happen.
Not as easy.
You know, like history, so history won't repeat itself. What they still have welfare today. It could literally still be going on today. Honestly,
it is still going on today. It is still going on today. The amount of even white families too, because it's not even really about a race thing at this point. Right. It's a class thing, and it's not white people that are doing this to us. It's not white people that are doing this to us. I don't like when people say that, because it just reinforces the idea that white people are superior if they're actually doing this to us.
Great point, Amir. Great point.
But I don't think you're really understanding what I'm saying, though, still.
No, you hit that.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, we're going to hold that thought for just one moment. We're going to take a little break. We're going to pay a few bills with our sponsor today, which is Advertise My Name. Hello, everybody. This is Ted King, trying to talk to you about your money matters. Yes, I understand that times are rough and things are tough, and you're trying to make ends meet. Well, if you're endeavoring to open up a new business, you need to call us at addmy.name or give us a call at 916-712-8427. And let us talk to you about your money woes. I mean, if you're trying to make money. If you're just trying to make a living, a job or whatever, just over broke, that's fine too. We can talk to you about that as well. But what we're trying to do is keep that heat off of you. It gets hot. Tell you, it gets real hot when the bills are due and you can't pay them. Oh my goodness, it gets hot. We're trying to give you a little relief. You know what I'm talking about? So give us a call at 916-712-8427. Add my name. All right, that was a very good point that you're making, Amir. And I agree with you when you say, from that perspective, that we shouldn't be blaming any
white people.
Yes, right, exactly.
We shouldn't be crediting the white people, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, crediting, that's even better. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Right.
Because
that is well. Crediting them for any deficiencies. I'm thinking that's what you're implying, which I agree with that as well. And so,
no, I'm saying crediting them for doing this to us, because they didn't do this to us.
That's what I'm saying. So we're on the same page. Absolutely. Yep, we agree 100%. That's what
Who
I'm saying.
did it to us?
See, that's the part where I think you guys are not following me, but I'm glad you asked that question.
Yeah.
But it's not white people. It's not the white, we live amongst white people. I've never came across a white person that I felt was capable, or his ancestors were capable of pulling off the job that's been done to my ancestors. So it's not them. It's something else.
Okay. Right.
And when the Spaniards did that conquest and had these miraculous victories against all odds, they wasn't fighting alone. It wasn't them that did that. I'll beat up Spaniards' ass right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. I hear you on that part. I think that men definitely will. When we start talking about combat, they're more definitely equipped to do that because of the testosterone that men have as opposed to the estrogen that women have, and women aren't so much equipped for combative. Although they can protect themselves and protect others, but the estrogen in a woman says, I'm equipped to be a nurturer, to be a mother, etc. So a lot of times, when that'll go over when you're talking to women, they don't see that. But based on from man perspective, it's fight or flight. So I think I'm understanding where you're coming from when you start talking about combat aspect of life and what caused certain things to be a certain kind of way. Especially.
I guess I'll go a little deeper into it. Okay. Because they went on a conquest and conquered the whole world. A small country with not that much manpower. They got in their ships. This is post Egypt. This is post Turtle Island. This is post. It's a lot of layers because I don't believe in. I believe that my ancestors are the indigenous Americans. And I really believe that. I believe that like you believe in Jesus, So we have to give that disclaimer or preface it with that. Mm-hmm. They came here. Well, first they did their conquest around the Indies, and then they conquered all the the Asian countries, and they conquered Egypt because Rome. There was a part of that It was a part of that group that conquered Egypt, and then they made their way to the Americas, and then they conquered our ancestors, and we were building pyramids out this bitch. You know what I mean? Right here.
Yeah.
Advanced technology. Well, a time before, maybe I wasn't there, but my ancestors accomplished a lot of great things beyond a firearm, So they came here with firearms that they didn't invent, because white people never invented anything. If you look into it, because we have something called melanin, which we were talking about. A melanin deficient entity has no creation. It's a left-brained, very masculine type of wiring that these Caucasoids had. So they can just get an order and go, and they can be very direct and very stoic about it. That's what they were good at, but that doesn't make you eligible to conquer my ancestors. So I'm saying that not only then, but still to this day, they're being allied, or they have an ally. I wouldn't even call it their ally, but they're being guided by a higher level entity that is oppressing us to this day. It's not the white guys that we went to school with, and it's not their ancestors. So when we talk about the white people, first of all, it just creates division between amongst the oppressed, and divide and conquer is one of the devil's greatest tricks and weapons that they use against us. And then we reinforce their superiority complex and our inferiority complex when we do that. Yes, we do. So it's important for people to at least be introduced with the idea of such things, so we can make sense about this. Because white people aren't better than black people at anything. What makes a person white is a deficiency of melanin. It's a lack of something magical. That's it. That was my little rant on that.
Good shit.
I appreciate it.
Sure. Well, yeah, I appreciate the input, to be honest with the insight as well, because this is what this is all about. We're trying to get a clear understanding, because the title of this topic is before you enter a relationship, understand this. And so that's what we're trying to do, trying to ascertain some understanding so that we can open up our minds to some things that we may not have thought about. We didn't even knew existed, in terms of like, for example, put in the recipe to a cake. A person learned how to do certain things, another person learned how to do something different, and they say, oh no, we're supposed to add that little spice in there. It makes all the difference. And then you understand why things are what they are, and why things are, how to get things better. I guess that's the example I'm trying to give. So
yeah, and it is relevant. It's relevant because the reason the dynamics between the relationships right now, and especially for a black person, but not exclusively for black people, is because of the masterfully crafted conspiracy, which is a plan, not a conspiracy, but collusion or a plan to oppress and to trick and to divide us as people. So the latest trick of the latest psychological operation that was executed on both men and women, but targeting the mind of the woman, was that she's less of a woman if she doesn't see herself as an equal to the man. So it's really a societal pressure that, because women can feel it within themselves that they don't really want to do this. But women are very social. They need to be accepted by the crowd, by the people.
So they feed on that and give her a lot of societal pressure to basically go against her instincts to want to prove to everybody that she's a strong, independent woman. An independent woman is oxymoronic to me.
Well, in my experience, and this is in defense of most women that I know, they don't really. If they had a choice, they wouldn't work. If they had a choice to stay home and do the things that their primary makeup entails them to do, most women that I know would not be going out there, having other people tell them what to do, in order to get a check. They would probably stay home and they would probably, do what their instinct tell them to do, which is to take care of their homes, to make sure their homes are is a comfortable place and a loving place to be at. So, I mean, that's my opinion. That's my experience. Most everybody that I've been around, been with, held that position. If they didn't have to work, they wouldn't. They would stay home and they would, be making sure that the home is comfortable.
Most women that grew up outside of the boomer era caught a stray there. You caught a stray there. My bad.
Oh, no worries.
No, but not only.
No worries
boomer, Amir.
Not only do they they never really had it. Most of them, we're talking about the overwhelming majority of women don't even have the opportunity to do that, much less admit that's what they want, because they're shamed for that. You really want to just be barefoot, you want to be barefoot in the kitchen, and you want to be slaving over, man. This is the narrative that is being regurgitated to the minds of these young women.
Well, this is what when we go up to the higher economic ladder in terms of men that making $1 million annual figures. Their women ain't walking around barefooted. They probably wearing better shoes than
this is more of a figure. It's more of a.
I understand.
They get shamed for wanting to be a housewife.
Well, okay.
Right.
Everybody's focused on money.
Get in their bag.
They're focused on money. So if it don't look like money, they don't want it. Now,
right. And then they want to
stay-at-home mom if he could take care of everything. And I'm not saying, there's definitely exceptions. I'm not saying all women it's like that. You definitely can find women who.
But they're made to be that way, though. They have societal pressure to want to be that way. And if they do, they're saying they're feeling like they're sacrificing. So they'll say, I gave up my career for you, and so you better do right by put that unnecessary pressure and that kind of what am I trying to say? It makes them feel like they sacrifice for that, when that's what we're all acknowledging that's what they really want and that's what they really deserve. But most of them can't even get it, and then the ones that can, they can't appreciate it as much. They feel like the man is taking something from her when she makes that sacrifice to be that. You see it.
That makes sense. A lot of sense.
Well, I know that we get bombarded by a media that we can't control. Television. They'll pump certain things, images out to us, and say these to your point, women gonna get shamed for doing this or wanting to be that or wanting to be this. There's some strong. I'm not gonna call them. They're in society. They're in the society that we live in, but they don't accept the society that we live in as such. Where you're gonna get shamed for wanting to be at home, or shamed for being a woman who's wants to make sure her home is comfortable. Without having to worry about these things like looking a certain kind of way for somebody else, for the neighbor across the street or the next door neighbor, you know.
Right.
You know, they focus on the tranquility of their home, the tranquility of their family, and you know,
Right.
trying to enjoy.
And the rich guys, the rich men don't need that. You know?
They don't need
Well,
what?
I think, yeah.
They don't need what?
Well, they do. Everybody needs it. I mean, let me rephrase that a little bit. The woman that the middle class household needs that woman, you know, more than the upper class, because he can get a nanny, a chef, and you know, cleaners and all that other good stuff.
She's a woman.
Yeah, but she's not going to be doing. She doesn't. The girls that are getting the richest guys, they don't want to do these things, you know. They just want to.
Yeah.
They want to look cute and.
You're talking about the side chick.
No,
He's talking about a rich man. You know, who somebody who has a lot of money says, you know, well, I can afford a nanny. I'm gonna let the nanny take care of the children, and the wife says, yeah, the nanny will take care of the children, do all these other things. That's kind of superficial on their part, because their
But
children
you mentioned a wife.
identify.
You're not talking about somebody who has a wife, right? Yeah.
No, he was talking about. He was talking about a class of people.
I'm saying that rich men don't really need a wife that's going to do all those things.
Right, a class of people.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. Because he can pay for somebody to do all those, to take care of the house.
If that person decides that's what they want to do, but there's a lot of people that understand that if you this is not nowhere associating kids to dogs, but if you feed my dog, that's not my dog. That's your dog, because your dog relates to you because you keep feeding it. And so, you know, a child who's been nurtured by somebody else, they're going to identify that person as a nurturer, not their own biological mother or father. So that's very dangerous.
We live in a Eurocentric world, Eurocentric society, where that's a very common thing to do, you know.
Okay. Well, see, that's not something that I can identify with, because the people I know of usually take care of their own kids. That's just probably because my economics say I don't know those people, you know, because most people I know take care of their own children, and they might have good jobs or whatever, but they pretty much at the table with their children. They eat, sit down, or whatever, or go out somewhere. So that's just
right.
From what I'm used to. I'm not saying that what you're saying is not true, because obviously there are some people that do that. And
well, that's the American dream. That's the dream that they're selling. This is what everybody aspires to do. Everybody wants to get rich so that they can live like these fantasy people on TV do, and that's a European standard of living, or European dream that they're selling. That they're like. Who
is living that dream? I mean, who are we looking at that live like that?
They're selling that dream.
But I mean, who is the dream? I'm trying to picture who the dream is. Is it a celebrity?
She's saying what she's saying is she's saying that if there's an example that she can see, in other words, some TV show or some celebrity type guy. You know,
yeah, it started. All our celebrities are black now. I mean, all our the people that are doing these things, they're not necessarily white people anymore. But it started off with the slave master and how he lived in the big house, and he kicked his feet up, and he had bitches all around doing things for him, and he drank nice wine and wore nice clothes and whatever, you know. And then he had mammies nursing his babies, you know what I mean? And he had bed wenches that he would, you know. He had the bitches, and he was making mulattoes, and he was, you know, and then now we don't see that imagery, but that Eurocentric standard is being perpetrated by the public figures that our children look up to now, and that's not something that our ancestors ever aspired or would have ever tried to be like, because that, like you said, that's not something that a melanated person would ever try to engage in, having somebody else feed their children, you know, much less raise their children. But we're talking about a different species of humanoids, you know?
Yeah.
No, for real shit. And I'm not racist, you know what I'm saying? I love white. My mom is white.
I was about to say you can't be.
Right, I can't be racist. Yeah.
You probably can be.
I probably can.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they say blacks are racist against their own.
No, you definitely can. You definitely can. I think everybody's racist, you know. And before I even really studied up on like the some of the science and like the biology about these things, I would tell myself that I'm gonna promote a racist narrative to combat the racism that is being bestowed upon the minds of my children, so to speak. When I had little young children, I'm like, well, I would be doing them a disservice by not convincing them that they're superior if their counterparts have that mental edge already. You got to combat that and match that. And that was before I realized that I'm gonna just say it, that we're the superior race. You know, blacks are the superior race. We're the difference between a black person and a white person is melanin. Melanin is the most expensive chemical on this planet. We were brought to this planet to mine gold, and gold was the most expensive thing on this planet.
So let me ask this question then: if we are the superior race, why are we in an inferior position?
It's because now, like, listen, I studied these. I asked these same questions, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know the answer, but I have my idea, my theory, and that's what I alluded to earlier, is that these there's only really one logical explanation, and that is that they're being assisted by a higher a group of entities that have a higher level of information and or capacity, you know, smarter, you know, a higher level. It's aliens, Nico. God damn it, I said it. No, but it's like
where did he go? What happened to him?
I knew that's what he was. I knew that's what he was implying. So
okay. Hold on a second. Let's see if we can get him back. Let me see if we can get him back.
See, you see, they hear me. They trying to silence me.
Amir, as soon as you said that, it cut off.
Yeah. He's like, oh no, he went too far. Oh, they're coming. They're knocking on my door real soon. You guys can hear me, yeah?
Yeah,
we can hear you fine.
So,
Yeah, well, yeah.
Back to the.
I don't want to say aliens, but like, you know, higher level entities that we don't see.
But what are they doing? Not what are they doing, but how are they manipulating the situation to keep us down? Is that? I don't know.
I can't hear it that well anymore.
No.
You hear?
I mean, no, not. Oh, maybe. Hold on.
What about now?
I think I'm in.
What about now?
No. I think I might be in something else that's. I can still hear, but just not that. I can still hear not that well though.
Okay, well let me say this. I'm thinking, if anything, if they're being helped by some entities, I think the entities, if anything, they're making us dumber because we're not using our full potential in any way, shape, or form.
Right. Well, I want to say they're making
aliens for that. We're not using our full potential. They don't.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm gonna I need to find my earbuds because I can't hear. But yeah, that's the whole game. They're dimming our lights, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And they've done it for generations. So
they got it in such they.
Y'all seen the movie They Clone Tyrone? That's about
They
dimming our
clone Tyrone.
lights. Yeah, that's about dimming our lights. It's about keeping us dumbed down with hair products, with our food.
This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, my country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring.
All right, so I had to put that in there.
Poorly timed.
Yeah, well, the thing is that we can understand that there is some definite, I would say, there's some forces, I would say, but the one thing about that force is not more powerful than the creator. So, I just wanted to throw that in there. And this is February. It was Black History Month, so just put that in there. I'm just the narrator. I'm just.
I don't believe that either, though.
Okay.
Because I believe, we're talking about. I think the God that a lot of people, the monolithic God that a lot of people refer to, I would translate that as a completely different realm. Now, God means the creator, and we were all created by something. So, if I create a baby, we all create. Well, a lot of us create babies. That's in the form God-like behavior. So I believe that they used to refer to the third dimensional beings that created the species that we know as humans, earthling humans, were referred to as gods. And then the monolithic God, not even the biblical God, but the alpha God, the source energy, is a completely different. It's a different thing. And when I say God, that's who I'm referring to. And when you're saying God right now, I believe that's what you're referring to. But those entities are powerful as fuck. Not to be undermined and thinking that or insinuating that there's something more powerful that's on our side. No.
Yeah.
Well, I
No.
want to read a comment real quick from Zach King 005.
That nigga spitting. He said that's what he's saying.
They dumb us down through entertainment and other things. That's his. That's what he says. That was his comment.
Yeah.
Good point, though. That's a very good point. That's basically what I'm trying to say too. That the media kicks in with a lot of different things, kind of like he said, dumb us down, and I agree with that 100%. And so, and that's the only power that I see that they have. They might have some other things going on that I don't see, but pretty much, it was. I can't remember the program, but they was talking about one thing about Black people. They watch about 10 hours of TV a day. I mean, also, I guess they don't have time to do anything else, but that's what they were saying. That there's an average of 10 hours spent a day watching TV. So that's plenty. There's plenty of getting a lot of stuff in your brain sitting there watching something for 10 hours. So that makes a lot of sense.
But white people do the same thing.
I agree.
And here's what I take exception to. Can you guys hear me okay? Because I can't really hear. I got to put this. Can you guys hear me okay?
We hear you.
Yeah, I have to take exception to that. The narrative that you just said, Mighty King and Nicole's been saying, as far as like putting the blame on Black people, because white people do the same shit, but they have a privilege of not being punished or having to suffer consequences as severely as we do when doing that, because their light, they never had a light to dim in the first place. You know what I'm saying? I know it sounds fucked up, but you know, it's like they might be some collateral damage, but we're the main targets. You know?
Right. But we still gotta blame ourselves. If we what's the saying? Fool me once,
no.
Me, fool me twice.
No, we have to identify who our enemy really is. And stop saying that it's you and it's me and it's him and it's her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we're saying, well, he should have been better. They should have been better. You know, Gen X should have been better. Boomers should have been better. Millennials should have been better.
When we're actually just saying we should be better. Black people should be better and do better. What's wrong with that?
I think when you say it that way, yeah, you're fine.
I mean, that's all we're saying. Black people have to do better. Are you thinking that we are really up to par?
But what are we not doing? What do we need to do better?
I can answer that question. My turn.
But I know it's going to be the wrong. I mean, not that it's going to be the wrong answer, but it's not.
It's not going to be a wrong answer. It's going to be about what the program is about, which is 1 Corinthians 11:3, which is God protects Christ protects man protects woman, and that's basically what it is: protection. We need to give each other protection. There you go.
Yeah.
That's for real. I mean, that's for real. In one way, but in another way, yeah, it's family. It's focusing on family, your family, and like in a real way. Black people ain't really even focused on their family legacy and thinking about the future for their kids. You know,
right.
It's hard out here, so people focused on right now and surviving and getting through this life. But this day,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's the trick. They keep us in survival mode.
They keep us in survival mode. Yeah, they keep us. When you look at it, you know, the way that we working nowadays, we're waking up early in the morning, working all day, coming home, and then, you know, doing whatever little we can with our families, I guess. But when you think about it and the way that we're moving, and not just all people who got to work a 9 to 5 and make ends meet. When you think about it, like slavery, right? They wake up early, work out in the field all day,
right, and
go home. We wake up early, work out in the field all day,
yep.
Go home. It's like the same thing.
How dare you compare your life to what our ancestors went through? And you know you're not a slave, and you get paid, and you have choices to do.
Let me take that.
No, but I'm being facetious though.
You throw in the devil's advocate, and I'm glad you did, because we do get paid, and the slaves back then did not get paid. But look at where our money goes, right?
Yeah,
they had free room and board. Now we have to pay for room and board, so we literally getting the money and giving it right back. It's still not much different than, you know, we can't run away from the slave plantation. We can get Kunta Kinte. You know, the police brutality is a real thing now.
Yeah.
The police will get you. You know what I mean? So if you look, I just be looking at stuff and I'll be like, this really probably ain't too far from slavery.
No, that's I agree 100%. I agree 100%, and that's another trick, because they make us feel like we should be so appreciative of where we're at right now. We came so far, you know.
Right.
But we haven't went nowhere.
Even when we do go somewhere, we take a million steps back, or we're tricked into thinking we got somewhere like this, when it's really just like you're running in place.
It's a smoke screen.
Yeah, there you go. It is a smoke screen.
Right. You know, Harriet Tubman said that she said I saved 1,000 slaves. I could have saved 1,000 more had they known they were slaves.
Right. We don't even be known we slaves.
Wow, that's a good one right there. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
just said 1,000 more if they would have known they were slaves. Very good. I'm gonna use that one.
That's what's happening right now.
That's what's happening.
And then people, you know, them white people, and I'm talking about real white. I'm talking about white people. They'll get real, well, because white people are slaves too. That's another thing. White people are slaves too.
The working whites,
Well,
yes.
But they'll get real up in arms if they hear when they hear people talking like that. Like, you guys came a long ways and whatever the fuck, you know.
Well,
But no, we're still slaves.
I think what happens, what's going on now is that they could be living across the street or next door to a person of color and feel like, okay, well, if they're, you know, if when I go to work and, you know, people are talking, you know, down on them, and I live across the street from them or next door to them, I must be the same as them. And so, you know, they say, you know, maybe I need to move up, you know, because, you know, the first ghetto in America or lower income housing were for white people, and then they got loans. They were able to move out to the suburbs, and then of course black people went in those ghettos and lived in those lower income homes, while they were able to get the loans they need to get to you know, the suburbs and live until black people got some money and were able to move out there with them. So I mean, listen, it's a you know, going around circle type of thing, you know. But the thing is that's gonna break all this is just we understand that, look, you know, the differences, okay, there may be some differences, but not so much. So that's not a lot of differences in terms of how people really live. They want to live, and they want to live in a place of peace and comfort, you know. And that's what that's my opinion, you know. And that's all I can say. You know?
Yeah, the ones that are really pulling the strings, they got to give the white people somebody to look down on, you know.
Yeah.
There was a quote too. I can't remember who it was. He must have been a Jew. But he said if you give the white man somebody to look down on, he'll never know you're picking his pocket.
Wow.
So yeah, the white people are pawns in it too. But the fish are us. You know, everybody.
Yeah.
They're using the whites as bait to catch us.
Yeah.
To suppress us.
Yeah.
You know, because we got that magic, and they want that magic. They got to keep us alive, but they got to keep us controlled. And they got to keep us in smaller numbers too, because we'll fuck around and outpopulate their asses real quick.
Yeah, I thought that was a concern at one time, maybe 10, 15 years ago. Now they're saying there's only 12% of black people.
Yeah, we haven't really grown, even though we have babies at a way higher rate. It seems like to me, from what I can see. But they got prison systems for that. They got birth control for that. They got just all these disappearing black people all the time for that. Yeah. All these.
There's a lot of talk about them trying to do away with that. You know, the abortions and things of that nature. So that would definitely apply to everyone. Including black people, in terms of, you know, trying to stop them from having, having kids. You know?
Right. I study these things. You know, I really do study these things.
Okay.
And when that Roe versus Wade stuff came out, I looked at some of the numbers, and I couldn't help but notice that the only states that really outlawed it were way beyond the national average when it comes to the population of white people. And anybody in all the states where there's anything over 13%, and there's some states that are in the 30s, you know, they didn't change the laws. When you go to Planned Parenthood, you don't see a lot of white people in there, especially for it being 13%. We're only 13%. I live in Colorado. It's around 13, 14, 15%. But it's about 65% when you go into Planned Parenthood. and they pushing those agendas because black people are scared and are just as hateful as themselves as white people are.
Yeah.
You know, we're all under the same program.
Exactly.
I want to read a comment from Stack King 005. He writes, abortions are doing a number on us.
I mean, you know, they say the most dangerous place for a black person is in their mom's womb. And that's a real shit.
Yeah. Yeah, because we follow a lot of bullshit agendas that we don't even think nothing about.
Yeah, that liberation, my body, my choice bullshit, you know? And it's just another
men who are pushing it, who pushing my body, my choice. Why would a man push that agenda right along with women? When he's, by doing that, by saying, well, it's her body, it's her choice, he's giving up his paternal right. I don't know any men that are pushing that agenda. The agenda wouldn't have passed if men didn't push it too. Women aren't running the world, okay? They're not running the country. So my body, my choice wasn't just the same. It's actually what is going on. So men are agreeing with women, my body, my choice, and they're giving up their own paternal rights. I'm just letting the men know. Because when she gets pregnant, she wants to abort your baby, you have no right to say anything about it.
Yeah, I think that I know that there's always, I think that it's it appears to, I think whatever it looks like is not what it really is.
Yeah.
So of course you're going to put there's a lot of men, millions of men that do, but I don't believe that that's the majority or even close. I don't think that women should. I think that people need to, I think that sex has been trivialized too. That's another one of the weapons that's been formed against us. Is that we trivialize sex as if it's something that's for our pleasure, you know? And it's really a big deal when we're engaging in these activities. Mm-hmm. But when you have no consequences, especially for the woman she's the one that has that power to make that happen or not happen. So when she has no consequences, she does have consequences, but doesn't seem like it's a consequence for any of her actions. It makes her a lot more disrespect. You know, it trivializes the power of what she's allowing to happen to her.
Well, yeah, the whole thing is trivialized. Nobody really knows what you're gonna deal with when you go to abort a baby. I mean, you can find stuff on YouTube where you can get real graphic with it and see what really happens. But people who go in there, it's just like a hospital visit, they think.
Yeah, they get blindsided.
They get put to sleep, maybe, or they don't know what's
actually happening. The man can't even be in the room.
Yeah, they don't know what actually happens. And there's different types of ways that they abort these babies. They'll vacuum them, arm, limb by limb. Okay, They will do it limb by limb. They will crush the skull. They'll do all this. You think a mother knows that going into it? You think anybody telling her that? They just say abortion. It just sounds like whatever's in your stomach is going away.
Yeah, it's an embryo. It's not even. And then they pull that thing out, and it's got a head and legs and a heart and brain, and most importantly, a whole shit ton of melanin. And what do you think they're doing with that? That's a whole ass $1 billion industry right there.
Right. Great point. And adrenochrome. Well,
yeah. I'm familiar with that term. I don't know exactly, but yeah, that's a thing too. Whatever it is.
Early for that, but
I know how to spell it, but I don't really know what it means.
The adrenaline, the blood with the adrenaline in it from.
Oh, and then they drink that shit.
Yep, and it keeps them young.
Yep.
And powerful.
Yep, all that.
Oh.
And they doing little rituals like that they got from our ancestors, you know, up in Egypt. And from the Dogons and from the Sumerians.
Mm-hmm.
And they're using those powers, and all they need is that melanin to execute it. And they're using those powers for evil, for control. They're using it. They're weaponizing it. They're weaponizing our power.
Right.
So here's the question I have. I have a clear understanding that because of history, and of course, facts back this up, that we're being suppressed in terms of our connections by fluoride in the toothpaste and fluoride in fluorinated water, which is well, let me put it this way: when they
pineal gland.
Yeah, right, exactly. When Hitler, tried to exterminate the Jewish people, they had a lot of used a lot of fluorinated products to subdue them in terms of what they thought that was that extra power that they had to be able to connect with the higher sources. And so now they have this here, although war was, Hitler was defeated, but they still have this same agenda here in the United States. And it's been happening ever since the war was over, which is back in 1945. So, I don't drink or I don't use toothpaste with fluoride in it myself because of that reason. So there's so many things that, I brush my teeth without any fluoride. If it's got fluoride, I don't fool with it. So. These are things that people need to, these are some other things that, because we're talking about, things we before we enter into a relationship and understand this. So I guess that's probably this agenda on this topic. So yeah, I don't use anything that has any fluoride in it at all. So
yeah, that's a big thing too. And there's a lot. There's a lot of other things as well, but yeah, that's for the calcification, like Nicole said.
Okay. All right. Well, I just wanted to let you all know that this has been a fantastic, and we try to limit it for an hour. We always go over. We're like an hour 12. We have another program coming. Yeah, we have another program coming on at 7:30. So we're gonna get ready for that. And Nicole, you don't like basketball, so I know you.
What? Okay.
It's a basketball, so you're more than welcome to join us. We're gonna be talking about basketball.
That's cool. No, I'll watch. I'll watch.
You guys cool? You cool on the basketball?
I'm cool on the basketball, but
do you watch the Kings at all, Nicole?
No.
Yeah.
So we have a program coming up at 7:30. We'll talk about the basketball. But we might have somebody else come in. Somebody else might be commenting about the situation with De'Aaron Fox being traded to the San Antonio Spurs. But I don't want you to know right now that the Sacramento Kings are winning, beating the Minnesota Timberwolves right now, and it's a 103-99 as we speak. So that's a good thing that Sacramento. And matter of fact, Keegan Murray found his groove. I guess he figured since Fox ain't here, I can score.
No, you're getting the shots up.
Yeah, you getting shots up for sure. That's a good thing. So
yeah, this conversation got me a little down.
Oh, why?
Not down, but it's like kind of.
No. You was actually. Hey, listen, you was the actual star of the show, sir.
I was cooking. No, I know, but it's like.
Listen. Because you see things from a different lens does not mean that you're not insightful. You see what I'm saying? And listen, this is what this is all about. This is all about learning and churning the understanding that we all need to have. So that's it, man. So you did a great job tonight, as always.
Oh, I never doubted that, guys. I wasn't saying that.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I appreciate you guys, though. No, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Just got in. It's a lot. It's a lot that we go through. It's a lot. It's a lot that we have to. I mean, it's an uphill battle, and I try not to even think about these things because it can be a bit overwhelming.
Well, here's the thing, right? This is a beautiful thing. This thing right here that you just now said has been captured. You can watch this over and over again and hear the things that you say and then add to, whatever that you left out. Because, in conversation, we have conversation, we leave things out. At least I do all the time. So,
we could go for like hours and hours. It's too much. It's just too much.
Yeah, right. Well, we got something coming up in 50.
Let me give a suggestion for next time. If we can hit like a 2 or 3 different topics, you know.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. We won't
do like 20-minute segments.
Yeah, but that's not a problem. Again, you all can text me. Let me know what you all want to talk about. I'll set it up, and you all take off. That's easy, like just like you did today. You know, just basically so we can get it set up, so we're gonna know what the topic is about. The 3 topics, and then we're gonna go ahead and chop it up. Let the viewers hear what we got to say, and hey, voila! You know, that's it. Yeah, voila. Okay. All right.
Voila.
Okay. This is I'm Ted. She's.
I'm Nicole.
And
I'm Amir.
All right. So we're gonna be coming at you again tomorrow. We'll have some. We're not sure what we're gonna talk about, but we're gonna go ahead and post it at least 12 hours before the show. So you at least have an understanding of what's going on. Only not 8 hours before the show, because that'd be like 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if these guys are gonna get at me that early. But anyway, so we'll have something coming back at you tomorrow. You guys keep your eye open, you know, as to what it's gonna be. And as always, peace and love. And again, this is a Black History Month, so we're gonna end on this note with the great Martin Luther King. I had a dream speech. Here we go.
From every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
And on that note, don't forget to subscribe to the channels. That would be King Mighty King Media TV, Add My Name TV, and Them Parts. Don't forget Them Parts. And like and comment.
Them Parts.
Yeah. Like and comment. And thanks for watching. Until the next one, peace and love, and we out.
Peace out.
Peace.
All right.